Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so let's get this finished off here. Yes, got a 470 ohm resistor on these lights here, all tied in together there now. I just need to run a line from here that goes up here to the regulator, and that takes care of this circuit here. Do a quick light test. Good. Now the lower half, let's get that strobe in there. Now for the warp engines here, just got to get some lines on the strip here, which will tie directly in to there. Okay, so now for the tops of this, I need to find out where this is going to connect. Like where along here these struts connect to the main warp engine. So it looks like it's right around here. So I have to drill a hole right along this point here. Okay, so I redid these a little bit better. Instead of just going by the bottom part here, all the attachment is going to be on the top part of the arm here. So I'm going to make a small indent that this fits down into just a little bit. And that way this point here will butt right up against the warp engine top there, just like that. So it's going to look really good. You see how it'll look something like that. Just going to be quite nice. Okay, so let's just indent that just a little bit, probably about 1 millimeter or so down. And I'll be using Gorilla Glue to hold those together to the struts. I need to make a channel here for the wiring to go through, so let's get the channel done. And with that done, now I just got to put a hole in here where these channels line up. Okay, so we're moving on now to getting these flashers done here with the circuit board. So you need 2 of these sockets here for the chips, 2 of these LM555CN, what is it here? It's the LMC555CN timer chips, 2 transistors here, and 6 1K resistors, and a capacitor which sets the timing for the flashing of the LEDs. Now I'll leave a link in the description down below on how to put this circuit board together. So let's get on with this. And there we have it. The circuit's pretty much all done. Just a couple more things I need to do on. I need to figure out which capacitor I need. So I got a made up breadboard here ready to go. I use this to test the capacitor and the speed of the flash that I'm going to be using. And let's go and pick the capacitor that we need. Okay, those 2. All right, so I got that all tied together now. And underneath here, you can see the red and black lines there going to the other flasher. So they got both of these circuits are tied together now. Let's do a quick light test. Good. All right, there we go. All right, let's figure out how we're going to get that on there. I don't want this thing covering these windows. I'm going to have to add another light strip here for the windows in here. Because coming from here, it's going to cause a shadow here onto those other ones in the front. Right about there. Okay, those are all ready to go now. All right, so we got the main line here coming off, feeding into the 5-volt regulator. Got this, the phasers, all the regular LEDs coming off the 5-volt regulator here. This is the output of positive. This is the ground, and positive in, which feeds in and feeds all the rest of this stuff. I still got to get this light strip right here. That's where I'm going to put it to make sure that the front windows up here are going to be well lit. So torpedoes are all in place. This is the main AC line, which will plug directly into the plug right here. Got a flasher here, the strobe, and I got the other strobe here behind the bridge. So this is all done there. Let's see, this thing is just about ready to start being completely put together here. So I'm just going to get this LED strip in place, and that takes care of that. Time for a quick light test. Torpedoes are there. Good, good. Lights are flashing. Good, good. Phasers are on. Good. And these turned out quite nicely, and I added the fins on the back there. You can see the little fins here. And then there's a section on the very front there. I got it puttied on here, and I was just going to use my Dremel and just cut around the edges here to give it this look here. You can barely see it. So I'm going to get that done. Just like that. Just got to smoothen off the edges here a little bit. And that's perfect. All right, time to get these engines attached over here. And there we go. Just gotta let that set, and then we can finish attaching the warp engines to the pod there. And then we can get the wires all hooked up there to the primary hull and attach them there. This thing's coming together. All right, so it looks good. Just gotta get these engines tied into the framework here. And tie these wires together first. Get that done out of the way so I don't have to worry about it later. Then we can get this done. And then what I need to do is I need to apply the Aztec decals onto the tops here, because it's going to be really hard to do once you get it in place here, because the frame here is going to be in the way. And I got some painting to do first here. Get that out of the way. So there's a bit to do yet before attaching it to the primary hull. Alright, with that working out now, just gonna leave those. So let's get the painting done on these sections here, and then I can put the Aztecs on top. I got some old Reliant Aztecs here. Of course, the ones I really needed are been used for something else, but that's okay, because I can adapt these here to fit these areas here, no problem. Okay, let's get that painting done. Gonna use sky gray here, XF19 Tamiya color. There we go. Got it all done up there on both sides. Got some hull paneling done as well. Looks pretty good. All right, just gotta let that set. Then we can get these warp engines locked in place. All right, it's had time to set. Let's get these engines tied on. There we go. Just gotta let that set now. There we go. Looking good. Very good. Okay, so I just puttied around there, close up the gaps. Eventually go over it with paint. But right now I need to get the Aztecs on here. I think there were a few other things I needed to put on there. Yeah, the red line going down the backs here. I got lots of those. So let's get the Aztecs on there first. Get that out of the way. There we go, looking pretty good. Okay, I just need to get those red stripes on the backs there. Alright, just gotta let that set overnight, and then we can attach it. Alright, time to get these two halves together now. All the wires are connected now. Like test showed, everything's working fine. So I got the glue gun glue on there, so these wires do not move. Okay, we can actually put these two halves together now. All right, I'm going to let that set now, and then we can get the rest of the primary hull in place. But that is it for this episode, everyone. In the next one, we're going to finish off the assembly and then get the Aztecs and the rest of the decaling in place, and she is done. Please like, subscribe, comment, don't forget to share, and click that notification bell for any future uploads. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.